Thank you for joining us today. My name is Romero Davis. I'm the Senior Director of Child, Family, and Community Wellbeing with Social Current. And I have the wonderful pleasure today um, and excited on behalf of Social Current to recognize LifeWorks with the 2025 Innovative Impact Award for its pre-arrest diversion program called the Travis County Transformation Project. Now, this award spotlights the efforts of a social current network organization who just innovates for good while creating lasting change with families and communities. The Travis County Transformation Project is an innovative program that ensures participating youth aren't charged and do not touch any aspect of the traditional juvenile justice system. Instead, they're connected with community-based supports and receive case management, family counseling, and much more. Today, I'm excited and joined by the CEO of LifeWorks, Liz Schoenfeld. Liz, it is a pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you, Romero. I am so delighted to be able to be here today with you as well. I'd love to start by just telling you a little bit about LifeWorks in general, if that works.
Absolutely.
All right. So LifeWorks is a nonprofit that's based out of Austin, Texas, and our mission is to solve youth homelessness through our housing, mental health, education, and workforce services. And we primarily serve young people between the ages of 16 and 26. So, as you know, a pretty formative period of life. And we do that through an array of 15 different services that are really geared toward helping young people build stability and work toward their self-defined goals. And I'm just so excited, for the opportunity to tell you more about the Travis County Transformation Project, which is one of the services that we provide.
Absolutely amazing, Liz. I appreciate that so much. Could you just start just by providing just a little bit of background and context about what led you to embark on this initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned a second ago, our focus is really on solving youth homelessness, and a significant portion of unhoused young people in our community have experience with the juvenile legal system. And so our focus is not just putting roofs over people's heads, but also doing what we can to prevent the trauma of homelessness in the first place. And one of the things that was most shocking to me when we first started really embarking on this specific project was learning that the number one reason that young people end up in the juvenile legal system in our community is essentially because of family conflict. It is for a charge called assault family violence, which essentially means that there is an argument in the home. It escalates, the police are called because they are generally required to remove somebody from the home. More often than not, they will choose to remove the young person because that's less disruptive to the family unit, right? Reduces the risk of CPS involvement, things like that, if you were to remove the parent instead. And so that results in the young person being arrested and taken to our juvenile detention center and being booked. And so that experience of being arrested and essentially being processed like a criminal, that can have a really profound effect on how young people see themselves and can open up this cycle of further involvement with the criminal justice system. And so between the years of 2013 and 2019, sure enough, nearly half of young people who had been picked up for these types of offenses recidivated within a year. And at LifeWorks, we just refuse to be satisfied with that as the status quo. And these trends just generally felt completely avoidable. And so, generally speaking, when family conflict is escalating to that point, the underlying root is actually stress, right? It's stress that's being caused by financial instability, by housing instability, by food insecurity, by strained coping skills, by a lack of mental health resources. And so we knew that we could do better, right? Nearly 90% of the families that we're serving were living in an area of Austin characterized by racial segregation and historical disenfranchisement. And so it was these patterns that really inspired us to embark on this initiative. Just, we knew that our community could stand by our youth in a more effective way.
And looks like there was a lot of cross-sector collaboration as well. Can you talk about, your partners and the strengths in some of those contributions?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are 3 core partners that are involved in the Travis County Transformation Project. So there's LifeWorks, there's another nonprofit in town called the Excellence Project, and then there's the Travis County District Attorney's Office. And I'll start with the DA's office. So they are responsible for assessing eligibility for the program. So when law enforcement goes to a family, when they've been called because of an assault family violence charge, they're responsible for really determining if this individual might be a good fit for the project. And they were also responsible for really recruiting and then training law enforcement in the deflection protocol. Then you have LifeWorks, and the component that we provide is the respite services. So instead of the young person being taken to the juvenile detention center, the families are provided with the option of having the young person taken to our shelter instead for a cooling down period of anywhere from 3 to 14 days. And during that time, they also have the ability to be connected with family counseling services that LifeWorks provides as well. And then the Excellence Project is responsible for providing wraparound case management services to the family in order to help address their basic needs. And they also facilitate the healing circles, which are based on the circles of peace restorative justice model, with the goal of really trying to bring in other supportive figures in families' lives and create practical skills to help them resolve conflict more productively, to minimize social isolation, and to build the supports that they need in order to prevent these types of occurrences from occurring in the future. And I have just been so impressed because this is really just a critical example of like how this type of cross-sector collaboration can result in impacts that really exceed the capacity of any one organization.
It takes a village, right? It takes
exactly
a village.
In every way, shape, and form.
Absolutely. And I know I touched a little bit on the Travis County Transformation Project, in the beginning, but can you just talk a little bit more deeply about the Travis County Transformation Project and just how does it work?
At its core, the Travis County Transformation Project is a pre-arrest diversion program for youth involved in family conflict. So instead of being handcuffed, arrested, and then charged with an assault family violence offense, youth are offered an alternative. So when law enforcement comes to one of these family conflict situations, they're able to assess whether or not that young person might be a good fit for the program. And upon gaining consent from the guardian, that youth is then brought to LifeWorks to stay at our shelter for a respite period of anywhere from 3 to 14 days. That is also where they are able to be connected with family counseling services. That could be a service that either the youth participates in individually or that the family as a whole is engaged in, and family counseling can persist beyond their stay at the shelter. During that time, youth and their families are also connected with case management services in order to help them address their basic needs, to address whatever food insecurity they might be experiencing, to navigate housing insecurity, et cetera. And they also are then connected with the healing circles in order to help them build those coping skills and those conflict resolution skills in order to, take those strengths forward beyond their time in the program. And they can participate in any combination of these services and supports for up to a year.
Wow, no, that's amazing. And when you talked about the collaboration piece, which we know is really important, but what has helped you all make the collaboration successful?
Yeah, there are really 3 core things that have contributed to the success of this collaboration. And I would say that first and foremost, simply just having a shared vision. So from the very beginning, every partner was just really aligned on this shared goal of reducing harm and developing a non-punitive approach, and instead coming up with a community-based solution. We all recognize that if we wanted different outcomes for youth and families in our community, that we would need to do our work differently. And that has been just a through line every step of the way, from conceptualization to today. Another thing that has really been critical for the project's success is just continuous communication. Collaboration at this level only works if you are just in lockstep with each other. And this project team is in contact with one another in some way, shape, or form on a near daily basis. And then finally, just really keeping youth and families at the center. So instead of adhering to, a rigidly prescribed model, we've really stayed flexible and have tried to adapt to the program in order to meet the needs of young people. And if they, tell us that one element of the program isn't something that they need or that would be responsive to the challenges that they're facing, then they don't necessarily need to participate in that element of the program. And so that grounding has really just helped to keep this work relevant and effective.
Awesome. Y'all hear it: shared vision, communication, and keeping families in the center. That's what it is. And so
That's right.
through that, um, you have had some um, great outcomes, striking results, right? Especially within that first 18 months. Impressive 94% reduction in recidivism. When you think about that, what aspects of this model, I'm sure there's many, but what aspects of the model do you think have had the greatest impact on the success?
Yeah, so this might sound a little bit intuitive, but I think that the greatest impact has really come from the ability to keep youth out of the justice system altogether. So the fact that we are able to completely deflect youth from having like that experience of ending up in handcuffs, because research is clear that the trauma of arrest and court can really increase the likelihood of reoffending. And so by deflecting young people before that point, we're really interrupting that cycle. And then, of course, the holistic supports, whether that is the case management or the family counseling or the healing circles, that has just made a huge difference as well, right? So being able to ground the intervention in community and in tools and resources that families can carry with them beyond the confines of any given program, right? Like that is just really essential for them recognizing the inherent strengths that they have, and the resources that they have access to.
Absolutely. Liz, one of my favorite mottos is nothing about them without them. And what have you all learned by centering the voices of those that have been directly impacted?
So listening to youth and families is really just at the heart of everything that we do at LifeWorks, and the Travis County Transformation Project is no exception. We firmly believe that youth and families are the experts of their own lives, and so we create every possible opportunity to really try to listen and to let them guide the way. And we just have the honor of being able to walk alongside them. And so when this project was, kind of initially being formulated, folks told us that conflict was, directly tied to the stressors that they were facing in the home and challenges like food insecurity and, and housing instability, and really just the financial strain, right? And so that's why we built in case management. Families told us that the lack of accessible and affordable mental health services were a barrier. And so that's why we built in the family counseling component. They told us that social isolation just really made conflict worse. And so that's why we brought in the healing circle approach so that we could, have individuals be able to choose folks in their lives that were meaningful natural supports for them and involve them in that process. So that way, these supportive community members would be able to walk alongside them on their journey toward healing. And so it was through listening that we were really able to build a program that families actually want to participate in, and that truly meets their needs.
Great. Liz, what's next for the program, and are there plans to replicate it?
Yes, and so this is one of the things that I'm most excited about. So communities both across Texas and across the United States have already been reaching out about replication. We also are partnering with the University of Texas at Austin to do a formal evaluation and ultimately build on that to put together a formal implementation guide in order to support other communities in doing this work. And then on top of that, we're looking at how we can potentially expand the model locally, right? Whether that is through expanding the age range of young people that we're serving, expanding it to other types of charges, or even adapting the model to be able to use a similar deflection approach for families that otherwise would be ending up in the child welfare system. And so our hope really is just that communities everywhere can adapt this model to their unique needs. So that way fewer youth are being pushed into the juvenile legal system and more families can just access the healing and support that they deserve.
That's just, it's absolutely amazing. And it's exciting to see everything that you all are doing, the results that you all are having, the collaboration, and just everything about the work that you all are doing there. And again, Liz, congratulations on receiving the 2025 Innovative Impact Award. I appreciate you so much and your team for sharing your expertise and just talking about the work that you all are doing. And I look forward to seeing you at Spark in Chicago.
We look forward to being there.
I look forward to seeing you. It'll be a great time. folks, for everyone, listen, Liz will be there. She's going to be presenting a breakout session on the work. Look, you're going to be joined by, I think, two of your partners as well, it looks like.
By
At our
by three, actually,
three.
three. And we'll have
Yeah.
reps from both the Excellence Project and the DA's office there as well.
Awesome. Awesome. No, Liz, again, it's just so great to hear. And I'm grateful for the work that you are doing. And for all those that are out there, look, folks, the conference registration, it's open. Make sure you register by September 20th to receive your early bird rate. And make sure you are there to see Liz and the team talk about this even more. And again, Liz, just congratulations to you. I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you in Chicago.
Thank you. Looking forward to it. Thank you. Looking forward to it.